Mr. Speaker. I'm going to change the way I was going to do this speech because there were certain things I was going to talk about last. But the first thing I do want to respond to is actually the previous members' just comments. And I think because it's on the record that the Conservative Party put forward a motion, I think we actually better know what we're talking about when we're saying in the House that we put through a counter motion. What actually happened here, and I know with the chair of the HUMA committee being aware as well, there was actually on March 22nd, 2016, a motion put on. So if we're going to put that thing saying that we're playing politics, let's make sure we have our facts straight. So on March 22nd, 2016, the member from Langley Aldergrove actually brought forward a motion, and that was brought forward in the motion in the HUMA committee. Now, just being honest about this, because I think it's really important that we have these discussions, I myself looked at the motion and saw a great deal of provincial jurisdiction, and I believe that as a federal government member, it is very difficult for me to look at a motion where I see 80% of the depth in the study was going to be provincial. Therefore, I myself took that motion in that committee on February 14th, played around with it a little bit and reintroduced it again. So let's be fair and put on the record that we were not playing politics with this, that our motion had come out actually 9 months previous of this motion. So I just want to be respectful on that, so that if we're going to talk about playing politics, let's be real. This was not a political move, because as for the Conservative Party, seniors is very, very important. And as a member for Elgin Middlesex London, we at one time had one of the largest populations in Ontario of seniors. So I recognize it is very, very important, and in this growing demographic. So I'm going to just talk about the importance of seniors in this. I myself, when I come to this House, I believe that I bring a lot of experience of dealing with everyday seniors, whether it's filling out old age security applications, whether it's looking at the GIS, whether it's doing volunteer tax returns for 10 years, and being able to see. And there are a lot of things that we can do as federal legislatures to help out seniors. Important things like the income splitting. That is something that we have seen that has a great and positive impact for our seniors. Another thing that I thought was a great example of what our government did, and that the Conservative government did and actually improved on, was doing the age amount. Now, with my experience from doing tax returns, usually you're looking at about $12,000 as the basic annual income, or basic income, and from there you add it on. That age amount was able to allow seniors to many times go from about $12,000 to almost $18,000, meaning the first $18,000 was not taxed. And I'm going to remind people, guaranteed income supplement is not a taxable amount, so that's not part of the old age security and CPP. That is taxed. So when we're looking at things, we need to look at things what federal legislatures can do. So when it comes to seniors, some of the things that we can do are making sure that we have proper tax credits. And so I really do appreciate the tax credits that we do have currently for our seniors, and I can only ask that we continue to do more of that stuff, that we continue to look more into what we can do to seniors that way. Another thing is making sure that when it comes to seniors and allowing them to save, that we have the right vehicles for them to do so. Now, when we're looking at the old age security, in the election, we know all in the 2015 election, there was so much talk about the old age security. There were some misnomers, and then there were some truths. One of the truths was basically that my oldest sister, Linda, who was born in 1962, she'll be happy that I said that, the fact is she was going to be the first actual age group that was going to be affected by this entire reduction from the age of 67 to 60, or 65 to 67. So when we're talking about seniors, we're not talking about the seniors of today, we're talking about the seniors of tomorrow. And with that time, what we allowed seniors to do, or what I feel we are allowing seniors to do, was prepare for the future. And we put in vehicles like the tax-free savings account that would allow people to prepare. Because my sister is now going to be 54 on May the 12th, just so I can throw that in and continue to go at her. On May the 12th, we have to recognize she was going to be retiring now in 11 years. So at age 65 is when she was going to be receiving her old age security. That would have given her, because this was put in, I think, 2012 or so, was going to give her almost 15 years additional to prepare for her retirement. Because at 65, we're going to now bridge that to 67. Now, we know that the Liberal Financial Council, or the Finance Council, has come out, and the Minister for Families, Children and Social Development will not be taking the advice of this council to reduce that age back from 65 up to 67, although we see out of 23 of the 32 OECD countries are doing so. They're doing so because we recognize that there is aging demographics and that people are living longer. And when the old age security was brought forward, it was not brought forward in a time where people were living 10 and 12 years longer as they're doing so now. We also have to recognize that we have many other great benefits. Our healthcare rights, the fact that every day we turn a page, we're finding new scientific adventures, and that there is better healthcare. And to my friend sitting beside me today, great initiatives like C277, which is our framework for the palliative care policies. We're putting forward strategies that can work, and we need to do things like that. Now, when we're looking at this bill, I do have to say one thing. I would really have preferred that the member from Nickelback did not put in Section B. Nickelback, and it's great to see. You're not supposed to be nickel belts. Sorry, you're not supposed to be like you laugh on Fridays, but you know, the member from Nickelback, who is really from Nickel Belt but loves Nickelback. Thanks for taking me totally off there. The fact is, the fact is, we should not be sitting there and putting in a motion, yay, look how great we are. And I think that's the one thing out of this entire motion that I find extremely frivolous and kind of fluffy and shouldn't be in there. I respect the member a great deal, but I think that's a way of creating partisan politics right there. So, you know, maybe he could have done a little bit better. Maybe he's willing to amend that on my behalf because he knows I'm not really good with that one, but who knows. But, you know, when we're looking at the seniors, we have to look at, let's go back to the old age security. We're going to know that we're going to have aging population, that we're going to have over one out of 4 of our seniors by 2030 that are going to be over the age of 65. This is also going to cost our government between $10.4 and $11.2 billion. Those are just some rough estimates that were done when we're looking at these calculations when the previous government had looked at that. You want me to finish? I want to talk about Nickelback.
The Honourable